Good afternoon, dear students. It's me, Malohat, again with you, Senior Teacher at Oregon State University. Dear students, today we will speak about the role of mother tongue in teaching and learning a foreign language. So, it is a popular belief that second language acquisition is strongly influenced by the learner's first language, and the role of the first language in second language acquisition is a negative one. So that is the first language gets in the way of or interferes with the learning of the second language, such that feature of the first language transferred into the second language. Language transfer, what does it mean? The role of native language, it is mother tongue. First language in second language acquisition has come to be known as language transfer. It has been assumed that in a second language learning situation, learners rely extensively on their native language. Language transfer, information that can contribute or hinder learning or acquiring. Also known as cross-meaning and first language interference. Language interference is most often discussed as a source of errors known as negative transfer. So learners trying to apply rules and forms of the first language into the second language. So according to Lada, individuals tend to transfer forms and meanings of their native language and the culture to the foreign language and the culture. So this transfer is productive when the learner attempts to speak the language. This transfer is receptive when the learner attempts to grasp and understand the language and the culture as practiced by native speakers. So explaining the first language transfer. The first language system is used for both comprehension and production. The first language system is used and hypothesis construction responsible for interlanguage development. Comprehensible input serves as a major source of information for hypothesis construction. There are several possibilities for transfer. It is primarily a characteristic of communication. It is primarily a feature of learning. Both communication and learning transfer are significant and interrelated aspects of second language acquisition. So types of transfer: positive transfer, a negative transfer, zero transfer, and in the other next slide, we will learn the other types of transfers too. So let's start the first one with the first one, positive transfer, a situation in which prior learning aids subsequent learning. In negative transfer, a situation in which prior learning interferes with subsequent learning. Example as quickly as you can find the answer to this problem. 60 divide 0.50. Prior learning division usually leads to a smaller number. Zero transfer, a situation in which prior learning has no effect on new learning. Specific transfer, a situation in which prior learning aids subsequent learning because of specific similarities between two tasks. General transfer, situation in which prior learning aids subsequent learning due to the use of similar cognitive strategies. So, group 1 here, for group 1, initial task is French and the transfer task is Spanish. For group 2, initial task in Chinese and the transfer task is Spanish. And for group 3, initial task is Chinese and the transfer task. What about the transfer task here? So here it is shown possible outcomes. Types of transfer we will continue to talk about. The next one is near transfer. So knowledge domains similar in this, contexts basically the same, and elapsed time between tasks relatively short. In far transfer, so knowledge domains and settings are perceived to be dissimilar, and elapsed time between tasks relatively long. Applying math skills over the course of a unit to solve new problems on the unit test. So applying math skills over the course of a unit, yes, years later to determine investment options. Low road transfer and high road transfer. Low road transfer, previously learned skill, almost automatically retrieved and applied to similar task. In high road transfer requires thoughtful formulation of an abstraction that allows a connection to be made between two tasks. So how long? Here we will look through some mathematical skills. It is 13 plus 24 and 328 plus 192. How long did it take you to figure out college and its similarities or differences with us? It is teaching transfer implications, multiple opportunities for varied practices. Solve problems that are similar to those they will eventually have to solve. Teach students how to formulate general rules, strategies, or schemes for a variety of tasks. What should I do if I have a question? How should I study for a test? And how should I research for a paper? Provide cues that will allow them to connect prior knowledge. How is what we are learning today similar to yesterday's topic? So, dear students, in this slide we will talk about contrastive analysis hypothesis. Contrastive analysis is a way of comparing languages in order to determine potential errors for the ultimate purpose of isolating. What needs to be learned in second language and what doesn't need to be learned in second language learning. The ultimate goal of contrastive analysis is to predict areas that will be either easy or difficult for learners. So there are 6 basic features of contrastive analysis. Those are, first, takes language to be a set of habits and learning to be the establishment of new habits. Second, locates the major source of errors in the first language. Third, we should be able to account for errors for considering differences between first language and transfer language. And the next one is predicts greater differences lead to more errors. So the next one, differences must be taught. Similarities will be implicitly transferred from the first language. Difficulty or ease of learning a particular transfer language is determined by the differences between the first language and the transfer language. So dear students, that is all about the role of mother tongue in teaching and learning a foreign language. So I hope you all will revise the learned material for today and you will be ready for the next time. So dear students, goodbye. Our lesson is over.